Hi, hello, and welcome to 100 and some extra number of people have decided to validate me for some strange, unknown reason, and I honestly don't know how to deal. Sorry, as always, for any background noise. I live off of a main road, and an extra special sorry if I sound tired. My neighbor kind of has this tendency to blast his music at like 2 in the morning. So I apologize if I sound less than awake. And my neighbor, you know who you are. Turn it down. But honestly though, thank you to everyone who decided that they liked my hot mess of a channel enough to see where this goes. And I had thought, naively, that I could do a fun subscriber thank you. Ignoring all other hot messes that I've gone through in the process of this channel, I thought it would be neat, a fun little romp, if you may, if I went and found some of my oldest writing and read it aloud, dramatically, like it's Shakespeare, and drew some illustrations for you all. My exact plan was to find some of the old docs I had written up of the dystopian future story that I had, but there was a strange plethora of events that sort of prevented me from doing so. So the story opens up on me from last week, seeing how close I am to a hundo, and I'm pulling out all 4 of my flash drives, and I'm perusing them. I'm flipping and flopping between them, going through my hot mess of folders, and I find some old, unposted, unfinished fanfiction. I find some older drafts of my current story, and then I find it. The treasure trove of my own personal cringe. It was like a dusty tome of utter despair. So I go through and I click open the stories folder, and there are like 7 different folders, all titled with different series names, and I click open Future by Deceit, which would sound better if it was Future by Deception, especially since I misspelled deceit. So I clickety-clack on that file, and I'll admit, it is an old file of the story, but it is not the oldest one. So I go through the other files, and I find that almost all of these docs are password protected. So then I start trying to crack the code. I am so focused. You would think that I'm trying to hack photosynthesis. I am working so furiously. I put in all of my ships at the time, and I mean all of them. I think I dug up some repressed memories in the process. I type in words I found funny as a young 12 to 14-year-old. I enter in swear words in a desperate bid to see if mayhaps I was trying to be edgy. And I give up. I slump over my computer, and I internally sob. But then it hits me. I had posted some of these docs in different places. My first thought was Google Docs, but my old Google Docs account was a school one, and since I graduated, that crap was deleted to the great recycling bin in the sky, so that wasn't an option. Then I remember I had a DeviantArt page back in the day. And I'm jumping up and down because I've used the same 3 passwords for everything for years. So I open up that old friend, and it hits me. My mom had me delete my DeviantArt page. How could this happen to me? Ages ago. Like a year into me having the account. And I'm long since being upset about this because, if I'm honest, I was a dumb kid that didn't understand the internet, and I posted regrettable things. So I'm defeated. I'm once again sobbing internally, worried I've let down 100 people I never told I was going to do this. And then it hits me. The Wayback Machine is a thing. Now, I've never personally used it. I've seen people use them for online ARGs and the such, so I don't quite know how it works. So I type my username into the thing, and shock horror, it's not there. I wasn't important enough to archive. Which is really no surprise to me. I was a 12-year-old with subpar artistic skills and a serious Mary Sue problem that was most definitely not supposed to be a self-insert, I swear. Now, at this time, I decided I would try to record myself about the situation, and this recording is long since gone, by the way. There was just too much background noise, even by my standards. Dogs barking, crop dusters zooming past, rain pelting upon the roof. My AC was cutting on and off, the dryer was in the background. It was gross to listen to. Kind of like a long-distance ASMR. But anyways, I'm speaking to the void, laugh crying about this pickle 12-year-old me put me through. So I'm then running down all of the passwords I entered, and it hits me. Like a giant wave of third act Sherlock outing all the nonsense puzzle pieces together. I entered everything but my actual passwords. I never actually tried the passwords that I have been using for years. which, by the way, I've since changed the passwords and I'm making a very conscious effort to change my passwords occasionally. But yes, I then input the password I used for the time, and like a slap to my blind, oblivious face, it works. Then it gets better. I'm going through all the files, and none of them are the doc that I am looking for. And then I found it. The one I thought was the doc. The file with the correct title, the correct timestamp, everything. I input the password, and it starts loading away. The little load bar is taking a hot sec, which is honestly fair because I'm like 60% sure that those files have viruses on them. And I wait, and wait, and wait. And finally, it is there. There's the title page format I had gotten obsessed with at the time. And I scroll, and I scroll, and there is just a few pages of blank nothingness. And in this moment, I fear that the file is majorly corrupted. But then I see it! Like a glorious final screw you from 12-year-old me to current me. There, in all of its glory, and all of its disgusting, raw XD random humor, I find it. And I lost it. I was home alone, and I had just gone down the rabbit hole of my cringiest life phase, and at the end of it, it is just this. It's like if you read all of the Percy Jackson series, and at the end, Kronos just said ooh woo and faded into nothing. It's like if you read all of Harry Potter, and in the final pages, Voldemort just says, I has Chesburger, and vanished. I'm laughing, I'm dying, and I'm well past crying. And in that moment, I realized that this is a much better subscriber special than I could have ever planned. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening to this harrowing tale where I get the closest to losing my sanity ever. And most importantly, nya. Bye-bye. Oh, that's on the internet forever now. That's a fun thing for me to think about.